What's up, tennis people? So, because I had some super awesome guests in the studio recently, I'm a little behind on this French Open update. Sorry. But regardless, it's still so much more interesting hearing the recap from me than anyone else, right? Although he managed to outmatch the 9-time French Open champion Rafael Nadal in the quarterfinals of this year's French Open in straight sets, it apparently was not our world number one's time to finally triumph at the French Open, as many expected he finally would this year. Instead, the Stanimal came barreling through the tournament like a lion hunting for his prey. Stan and his famous French Open shorts took Novak Djokovic down. Suddenly, we are really starting to hear Wawrinka's roar, as he now has 2 big slam titles under his lion's mane, the first being the Australian Open in 2014. In the last 3 seasons, Wawrinka has played a lot of big-time matches. He won the Davis Cup with Switzerland last November and the Australian Open in 2014. And here was actually another one of the few times that he beat Djokovic on his way to that title, winning an epic quarterfinal match 9-7 in the 5th set. Then he went on to beat another big dog, Rafael Nadal, in the final. Going into the French Open final this year, Djokovic held a 17-3 winning streak lead over Wawrinka and has been kind of a man on a mission this season, dominating at so many of the tournaments. Instead, though, on his 11th attempt, Wawrinka and his ferocious backhand won their first French Open, making him the oldest men's champion there at 29 years old, since Andreas Gomez, who was a slightly older 30-year-old when he upset Andre Agassi in 1990. At the end of the match, a very emotional and defeated Djokovic still took the microphone in front of the crowd and said to Stan, "It's not easy for me to speak right now, but I have to say that in life, some things are more important than victories, and those are character and respect. I have great respect for you, Stan. You are a great champion with a big heart, and you deserve this title." The French Open crowd was also very sensitive to what a big loss this was for Djokovic, and they proceeded to give a very loud, very long, very warm applause for Novak. This final really was an exhilarating match, an exciting outcome, and an emotional finale that really shined light on just how awesome this sport is. Last year, Wawrinka lost in the first round at Roland Garros, and for so very long has been hiding out in his fellow Switz, Roger Federer's shadow. Now, Wawrinka has won 2 Grand Slam titles in the last 2 years, to Roger Federer's 0. In fact, he took out Federer in straight sets in the quarterfinals at this year's French Open. No longer a cub hiding in the shadows, this animal has begun to make sure everyone feels his presence. Grrr. On the women's side, what do you know? Serena Williams took the title. Williams has now won her 20th Grand Slam singles title, defeating Lucy Safarova of the Czech Republic 6-3, 6-7, 6-2. A couple of things are exciting about this match, however. First off, Lucy Safarova in the final? What? That's a new one. This French Open marks Safarova's first Slam final match ever in her career. A bit of a late bloomer, having her first Slam final at 28, but hey, better late than never. Not to mention, Safarova also put up a much stronger fight than anyone had anticipated. Expecting a bit of a wash here, Lucy actually took out her big guns for this one. In the second set, she was down 1-4, and I'm not quite sure what she may have put in her Gatorade at the changeover, but somehow she managed to turn things around to win the second set in a tiebreak. Our world number 1 player, Williams, was even 1 point away at a certain time in that second set from winning the match in straight sets. So, although a loss, this still marked a valiant effort from Safarova and is really putting her on the map much more than she's ever been in the past. With this win, Serena Williams only sits 2 Grand Slam titles back of Steffi Graf's 22 Grand Slam singles titles record. Uh-oh, she's creeping on you, Graf. Now up, we have Wimbledon. If Williams takes that plus the following slam at the US Open, we will officially have a Williams-Graf tie entering into 2016. And as for the men, no longer do we automatically expect one of the big four to win anymore. So you never know what's gonna happen on that side. And that, my friends, is exciting.